Hi, I'm Carol Jurgensen Sheets, aka Carol the Coach, and you know that I have made it my mission to help couples restore their relationship after sexual addiction. I'm a CSAT, a certified sexual addictions therapist, and I am a partner trauma specialist. I'm certified through APSATS, and I want you to know that one of the things that I really believe is that if a couple can repair their relationship, they probably should. You've already invested a lot of time, whether you're the sex addict or the partner, and truly, it really is up to the partner. Now, I'm not saying that you might be in a coupleship where the addict is not ready to do the work. If you're a sex addict and you're not ready to do the work, be honest about it. You know, one of the things that you've learned in your recovery is that you have to be honest. And being honest means that you have to walk into the conflict that you're going to feel when you tell your wife or your partner that you aren't ready to do what it takes to make the relationship work, to do what it takes to make your own recovery work. But if you are ready, then ultimately the rest of the responsibility falls on the partner. The partner gets to decide, do I want to do the work? Do I want to build trust? Do I want to live with this man or woman who has lied to me forever and ever and ever? So I know that puts a heavy, heavy, heavy burden on the partner. And yet it really is empowering because you get to ultimately make the decision. If the addict says, I want to work on our relationship, I want to work on my recovery. Now, I meet with a lot of partners and sex addicts, and the partners say, you know what, I can accept if my husband or wife has a slip, as long as they are absolutely honest and follow our contract to tell me within 2 hours, 12 hours, usually does not go over a day. We don't recommend that because really, we don't want an addict carrying a secret for over a day. So I'm going to ask you as a couple, do you have that negotiation? Have you decided that you can write down how long it should take you to be honest about anything that you believe is going to upset the partner? You know, this has happened several times with the exact same experience. The Sports Illustrated bathing suit issue. You know, there's a lot of addicts that believe that looking at that magazine is not a trigger. And therefore, they don't want it in their inner circle. But what I know to be true is that it's pretty hard to look at those women and not go into fantasy. And anytime you go into fantasy, even if it's a woman that's fully clothed, but she's clothed provocatively, she's got her bikini on, she's got low-cut cleavage on, you know what triggers those fantasies. And my sex addicts are really honest. They say, it doesn't take much, Carol. And so when a wife says, I don't want him looking at provocative images, I support her for 3 reasons. 1, that's what she doesn't want. She wants to feel safe and she wants to trust, so that should be off the table. 2, what I know to be true is that when you light up your reward center with a beautiful woman and something scantily clothed, you're setting yourself up for disaster. And 3, what I also know to be true is that it starts fantasies, and fantasy sex is a type of sex addiction. Therefore, you shouldn't have that slippery slope. You shouldn't be flirting with disaster. You should be doing whatever it takes to calm down the brain. Calm down the brain so that there is a reward center that's very, very dimmed. Or it's lit up by holding the baby, or, hey, boo, holding your puppy. I mean, this little guy provides a lot of healthy oxytocin, and he's a puppy, right, boo? That's right. So find healthy ways to light up that reward center to replace the old ways. Now, I've got to ask you, if you're an addict, what behaviors are you participating in that move you further away from recovery? Because the goal is to participate in behaviors that move you towards recovery, into recovery, part of recovery. And what I absolutely believe is that the partners in 95% of the cases, they know what will move you towards recovery. They know that sitting on the couch watching a family movie will move you towards recovery. You're experiencing the family. If that movie becomes R-rated, you go into fantasy mode, and that just is not healthy. So although for some sex addicts who have been involved with prostitutes, or they've been involved with escorts, or they've been involved with massage parlors, or they've been involved in swingers clubs, or they've been involved in you name it, they may go, oh my gosh, what difference does it make if the movie is R-rated? Well, again, we're dimming down the reward center. And if you're watching two naked bodies having sex, and it's R-rated, that's not dimming it down. That's revving it up. That's moving away from recovery as opposed to moving towards recovery. And so that should be the motto. The motto should be, am I moving away from recovery or am I moving towards recovery? And whenever you're moving towards recovery, you're making good choices. And when your wife believes that you should be doing A, B, and C to move towards recovery, I'm going to encourage you to do the same. I know she's a great barometer for what the coupleship needs, what she needs, and ultimately what you need. And I guess that's the last point that I want to make. Because what we are finding in partner-sensitive trauma work is that the old school said, hey, Mr. Sex Addict, you work your side of the street, and hey, partner, you work your side, and never the two shall meet. That came from AA, and that's archaic, and that's from the 30s, and boy, they did a fabulous job of getting that program started, but sex addiction isn't like that. There is trauma in sex addiction. So the partner has every right to help, to deal with, and to set up her boundaries about what's acceptable and what isn't. And if R-rated movies aren't acceptable, she has the right to say, sorry about that. That's not how I want my husband to participate. Because he's a sex addict and he's hurt me. And now he has to go the extra mile to do it right. I know you may feel like, boy, that gives the partner a lot of power. And ultimately, it probably does. But you know what? If you're a sex addict, you owe her that. And if you're a partner, you deserve that. Not that you should rule the roost and make all the decisions, but if there's something that makes you feel uncomfortable about what your husband or wife is doing as a sex addict, you have the right to say, I need to feel safe. I need stabilization. I need security in our relationship. So, I'm going to ask you to remember the motto. Does it move me away from recovery, or does it move me towards it? And if you use that motto and that formula, it will never fail you. And for a wife who feels like looking at a Sports Illustrated magazine moves you away, and for a sex addict who may be in denial or maybe doesn't feel triggered, he says, well, it doesn't move me away, and it doesn't move me towards. well, then I say defer to your partner because you owe her that. You've hurt her 100 times over. And it's time to make the right decision for the coupleship to make her feel safe and stable. Hey, I'm Carol Jurgensen Sheets, and I am honored to be with both of you tonight. Because what I know is if you're listening to this video, you want to make it right. And that is what good sexual addiction recovery is all about.